Welcome everybody to my TV show, The Top with Super Joe Pardo. I'm on a mission to help struggling small businesses grow. To help me, I've assembled a team of experts from around the world to get struggling businesses back on track, helping businesses rise above their stumbling blocks by focusing on their team, offer, and process, or as I like to call it, the top. Now, I'm going to take you with me on this journey right now. Let's go. I'm on my way up to Monroe Township, New Jersey to help Sandra, a business owner who has been making keepsakes for the last 4 years. She primarily sells them on Etsy. The reason I'm on my way up there is to help her get her numbers and prioritize the different types of products that she wants to make in order. To help with her Etsy efforts, I called on my good friend Josh. He's an Etsy veteran that I've called on to come and help our business owner today.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, nice to meet you. Why don't you show me around your space a little bit?
Okay, so this is my living room. This corner of my couch is my office, right here. My computer sits here, I sit on the couch, and my workshop is half laundry room, half workshop. It's kind of tiny, but it's perfect. It keeps all my stuff. I have everything organized. My ribbon for my ornaments. Was something that I had made that I am getting ready to actually add back onto my shop in a different form. When I was going through a rough time, I actually was looking for some inspiration, and that's where this came from. So it's basically a whole bunch of strong, powerful words. I've always wanted to raise money for some nonprofit or group or organization that needs it. And even though I could use the money myself, I want to share. And at Christmas time, it's even worse. Like there's ribbons and boxes and glitter and everything all over the place. And it actually expands into my dining room. I have ornaments out all over my dining room, sometimes into my kitchen. Like it's all over my piano usually. It's crazy wherever I can store them. At Christmas time, when I'm boxing up all my orders, my younger son actually comes in and helps me, and that's always a challenge because it's like there's not much space. He wants to cut my labels for me, my mailing labels at Christmas time. He's 8. They're not always straight because he also is trying to keep up with and cut them. At first I was like, oh God, these people who get these packages, the labels that are, cut crooked and jagged. I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? It's special and I know the story and no one's really going to notice. So I don't really care. Now they will. I would love to go into my garage. I have 2 workbenches, which would expand my little tiny space, but it's going to take me a little while to get there because it's kind of been my dumping ground for the past 4 years. I am now cutting my own wood for some pieces, so I wouldn't have all the sawdust in my house. You need to find the time to do everything. So this is my son, Jason. He's 12 years old, and he makes these origami bookmarks that are really cool. We're trying to figure out a way to make them with fabric so that they will last, and he made this one of toothbrush. So here it is.
That is something. That is something.
A mess.
Are you a struggling business owner that wants to be featured on the top? Then go to superjoepardo.com/casting to apply now.
So I started my Etsy shop 4 years ago. After a friend kept telling me, you should sell your invitations, and I was looking through, I think Pinterest actually, and I found this idea to make a puzzle out of little photo cubes, which there's my original.
Wow.
So each this is one photo, so each one is an actual piece of the puzzle. So it actually makes 6 different puzzles because each side.
How long did that take to make?
It takes a while, and when I was making it at first, I made probably about 10 times this same one to just figure out the technique and Mod Podge to use, which paper to use, which just everything. I saw the idea for these and I'm like, I could do this, and that'd be really cool to have, and maybe other people would want it. And that actually gave me that last little bit of let me do this. And with Etsy, it was a 20-cent risk.
Yeah.
So,
Low risk.
Exactly. So I took a chance. I put on some of my invitations that I had already made, and I gave it a try. My confidence grew after I responded. I found on one of the Facebook groups that I was a part of, someone asked, can anybody make this invitation? I was like, for the first time, I was like, I can, and I couldn't believe that I wrote that. I couldn't believe I said, I can do this. Like, I was putting myself out there in just such a bigger way, and it became one of my best sellers.
So how long had you been doing arts and crafts stuff before that?
I think I've done it all my life.
Wow, okay.
I actually went to college. I'm a teacher. I'm a certified teacher, and I taught for 11 years. When I work on the stuff for my shop, it's just, I find like peace. Like, it's, yes, there's stress. There's stress, and there's like, it scares me to death, and because I don't know the business end. The business end is what I've been kind of throwing together more than, and kind of winging it. I just, I'm trying to learn it as I go. And when I work on my stuff, I know that it's what I want to do. I would love to get to the point where I'm doing this full time. My ultimate dream would be to have a little tiny home that has a little section of it where I can, take my kids and just go travel for, I don't know, the whole summer or something. And I have tons of ideas that always come to me, and I start making something, and then kind of get put on hold a little bit. The ideas, they keep coming to me, and usually when I'm driving. So, and by myself, so I'll be sitting there in the car and I'll be like, oh, so I have my notebook that I carry with me, and I'll grab it really quick and like jotting down little diagrams or, something so I don't forget.
I think it's really important that we take a look at ourselves and what we're trying to accomplish by having our own businesses, by having our own opportunities open up for us, and admitting when, hey, things don't go as planned, things don't go like we want them to, and we have to take a step back to enable ourselves to enjoy what's around us. You've put the work in, and now you're at this tipping point over the next year to 2 years that you want to make a run at it and just make it go. And that's what I'm here to help you do today. That's what Josh Taylor, our guest expert, is here to help with. So between all of that, I think we're going to be able to make that happen. Setting you up for success, figuring out your numbers, getting your priorities straightened out. I think we're going to get there for you.
Can't wait. I'm excited.
Let's talk about your numbers, right? So how many units do you sell a year?
So this year I actually have 120 sales so far.
Wow, really?
So this was let's see, my 2018. I'm not doing awful. I just need to get over this hump. So I had 290 sales last year. Something I've noticed this year that's different from my past years is that I haven't hit that slump where I kind of stop for like a month or two. Like the past few years have kind of been a struggle, just personally, and my Etsy shop, although it brings me such joy and peace, it's still, I lose it. Like, I lose my momentum, I lose my enthusiasm. Like, I lose it until I'm kind of forced back into it with orders.
Well, let's talk about that. Like, what gets in the way of all that?
Life, basically. So when I first started my shop, I was actually not in the process of getting a divorce, but I was on the way. And so the first year or so of or two of my shop, I was going through a divorce. So there was that. There was the stresses of that. There were the stresses of moving. There was the stresses, just lots of life stresses that kind of just get in the way. Since I only do my Etsy shop part-time, or it's the little moments where I do let my fears of what I'm doing kind of get in the way. A part of my issue is filling in my blanks of, like Christmas, I've got pretty much down pat with my ornaments, but the rest of the year, it's the other stuff that I need to fill in.
Right. What is the average price for the items that you're selling that aren't digital? that are handmade?
Aren't digital, probably about $20. When I had first started on Etsy, like I would look at other people's listings if they had something similar in that way to try to figure out my pricing, including my costs and everything. But that has been a struggle with me to make sure that I'm paying myself enough and I'm not, losing money making these. And
so let's take a look at the numbers for it, right? So let's take one of your items. I think you said you had one that you wanted to price.
Yeah,
out,
I have.
how to price out?
I have my new item that I'm actually working on. So I have my wood that I found, and I have my 3 different sizes. And so this is how much each one is.
So this one definitely needs to be more.
Right,
then.
right.
And maybe it's like 12. And you
Right.
won't sell many of them, but that's okay because the goal is to get people to buy this one.
I just really needed help figuring this out because with my time and paying myself.
That's perfect. I think that having the higher price on all of these and marking them down will give
Right.
you that opportunity to say, well, normally it's $10, but now I can sell it to you for $7, and
Right.
it's okay. Like you're still going to make the money that
Right.
you need to make to put you on track.
Right.
To being independent here. All right.
Yes.
Well, why don't we go for a walk now?
There's a park not too far away.
Awesome.
It'd be a great place.
Because then you'd be
That
like,
would
hey,
be-
I got next year's invitation. Bam, right there, If you're watching this fine program wondering how you could take your business to the top, then you should grab my latest book, Sales Won't Save Your Business, available on Amazon. Then you should grab my latest greatest book, Sales Won't Save Your Business. Your numbers are super important, and that you don't always have to know exactly to be doing it close enough. Sometimes guesstimations, estimations, educated guesstimations are what you need to be looking at in order to get you at least close to where you need to be. Start where, how much do I need to make this work, so I don't have to go and work another job, so I don't have to go and worry about something else. That's why it's so important to figure out what your goal is going to be, and then set that goal, and then figure out how you can work backwards to make it a reality. Also keep in mind that it's really important that you can always go down in price, you can't go up in price. So setting your price higher than what you need it to be so you can come down enables you to give discounts without having to run into the issue of, oh no, I'm not making enough money doing this and I feel like I'm on a treadmill forever and always. Now we're headed to the park where we're going to talk about how I look at how Sandra should be making her business work for her lifestyle rather than her lifestyle for her business. Tell me a little bit about some of the issues that you're having with prioritizing your business.
So my time is limited. I can only work on it, nights and weekends basically. I have my long list of things that I know need to get done. I also have the ideas just keep coming. There's all these new items that I want to get listed so I could get more sales. I have a MailChimp account that I need to get all the people that from the Christmas time, the November, December through now that I need to get on there. I don't know where to start. I'll get started on this one thing and then it's oh, but I should really do this, and I want to get that fundraising thing started. I think that takes up a lot of my time, is just trying to figure out what to do first and next, and what makes the most logical sense.
You need a content calendar to start.
Probably,
right?
yeah.
So putting a list of what you want to get accomplished first,
right,
and then getting a calendar. It doesn't even have to be a calendar. First off, you should what I do is I go and I put everything on month to month to month. So I make a list. Okay, in January, if I only get blah 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 done, I'll be happy, right?
Right.
So this way, you're never feeling like you're running out of, you're not accomplishing enough. Because it's very easy, especially as a solopreneur, to feel like you're always running behind. You're always behind schedule. And you're just letting things just fall, you're pulling the seal ball, chocolate's running off the conveyor.
Yes, I feel that way a lot of times.
Right, okay, great. I'm only gonna get this done in the month of April. And if I get more than that, if I get some of May done, that's awesome. But that's not the goal. Starting the goal list out month to month.
Okay.
Then go from there to an actual calendar. And things like sending out a mailing list thing.
Right.
Put that on your calendar.
Right.
So your goal, say once a month to start, or if every 2 weeks.
Right.
And the great thing about that is it gives your customer the ability to say, hey, I'm expecting an email because every Tuesday, Sandra is going to send me an email. prioritize that
Right.
in a way that allows you to get ahead of schedule. Say like, okay, I'm going to take 2 hours and I'm going to write 8 emails. Well, now you just created 4 months worth of content if you're doing it every 2 weeks.
So MailChimp is probably one of the things I should tackle first, is getting my list up to par where it needs to be,
Well, yeah,
like
because
updated.
they're your customers that have already bought from you. So
Right.
they know and trust and like you
Right.
already. Getting anyone to go from $0 or 0 cents to 1 cent is the hardest thing.
Right.
Once you get past that, selling people on $7, $10, $40, it just gets easier and easier.
Right, and I do have return customers, and last November I did send out my very first MailChimp email,
Okay.
and I did offer a discount to my returning customers, which some of them did use, so it was nice to see, and the people who do come back to me actually do purchase more than they did originally.
How many people do you have on your list currently?
Almost 800.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. You have 800 people on your list, right?
Right.
If every time you send an email out, 1% of those people bought. That's
Right.
8 extra sales that you wouldn't have
had.
Get it to a point where every time you're writing something to them and you're
Right.
highlighting a new product or a product that you haven't talked about in a while, bam, all of a sudden you just got 8 more sales. Say $10 for if they all bought digital stuff.
Right.
Right? That's 166. That's 1,600, almost 1,700
Right.
bucks that you didn't have before.
Just by sending out that one email.
Yep. Prioritizing when you're going to go about creating items
Right.
is very important, because that enables you to not feel like, oh, but I also have this idea, and I have this idea, and this idea, and this idea, and this idea. And it's like, which one am I going to pick first? Well, if you bake that into your calendar, you'll know when that
Right.
time is. Maybe development of products shouldn't be October, November.
Right.
When you're looking at what else they're going to buy, if they did invitations almost a year ago, because then you'd be like,
That
hey,
would
I
be-
got next year's invitation. Bam, right there, How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm helping me situate everything in my mind and just
So why don't we head back to your house so we can go meet with Josh Taylor, our Etsy expert, and help you really hone in your Etsy side of things.
That sounds like a great plan. I don't want you to see my garage.
You don't want me to see your garage, but you need the space. The space is how you're going to get to where you want to be.
I
It's not going
know.
to happen by accident. Hey, business owners, I'm Super Joe Pardo, and I don't just help business owners on a great TV show like the one you're watching. I help them one-on-one. If you want to learn more about how you can work with me one-on-one, go to superjoepardo.com/coaching. Well, thank you so much, Josh, for taking the time to come help Sandra here with her Etsy store.
Thank you, though, for doing this. Like
Absolutely.
I said, Joe had sent me a link to your Etsy shop. I love the Mickey ears. My main question is, how do you deal with the copyright of the Mickey ears? Because I have this ornament that I made that is in the shape of Mickey and Minnie, and people have made me nervous now having it on my shop.
I've talked to people inside the Disney company. The actual headband with 2 ears on it is not a problem.
Okay.
It becomes a problem when you start to paint or have some kind of face or trademark thing. So in Disney culture, I don't know if you're familiar, but Disney bounding is really big right now.
Okay.
A lot of people use colors and shapes that are reminiscent of characters, but they
Okay.
are not the actual characters. And we know what we're going for. Just my recommendation to anyone ever is just don't paint or put a picture of an actual character on anything.
My dream is basically to have my Etsy shop be my full-time income so that I can devote more time to it and I can do what I want to do. And one of the big things I want to do is branch off into fundraising with my items as well.
And it's a possibility. I've gone full-time with Etsy. My wife has gone full-time with Etsy. It's allowed us to do some other passion projects. We host podcasts and we make videos and we do all kinds of other things that allow us to market our Etsy shop.
That works. That sounds like a wonderful plan. Thank you so very much.
It was a great experience for Sandra to be able to get that opportunity to know that there are other people doing it and they're making it work for themselves and their lifestyle. Not only has she gotten some clarity on whether or not she should have Mickey heads on her Etsy store, but also the ability for her to know that it's okay, you're not going to get sued, because Disney doesn't necessarily want to be the bad guy. Disney knows that they have a community of people that are constantly creating and building around the brand that they know and that they love. While it's still maybe a little dicey, it's not the end of the world. And I'm glad that we were able to give Sandra the confidence that she needs. You understand the value of what you're bringing to the table and understand that your advertising dollars is maybe better spent in a different way than traditional, TV, radio, or even Facebook social media ads. And you should probably think about that for your business when you're like, hey, I'm going to create this awesome Facebook ad and it's going to go out to all these people. Like, that's cool, but unless you're providing something that's so radically different, nobody's probably going to pick up on it, and it's not going to be a good spend.
I don't want you to see my garage.
You don't want me to see your garage, but you need the space. The space is how you're going to get to where you want to be.
I know.
It's not going to happen by accident.
Stuff's not going to fall out on you, but it's bad.
It's bad? All right, well, let's see how bad it is.
So here it is. Most of it is to donate. There are some things I do want to keep, and there's a lot that can be done with bulk pickup.
Why don't we do it today? Let's make it
Really?
happen, right? There's no day like today, right? That's what they say.
Oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
All right, let's do it. So what you're looking to accomplish with the top formula, the team is you, right? Team always starts with me or I, because there is an I here. With the offer, raising some of your prices to accommodate the fact that you need to be making more money, and then discounting from there, because you can always come down, sell more digital stuff, as well as higher priced handmade stuff, because it takes a lot more of your time. Getting more marketing to the people who trust you already. That part makes it a lot easier for you to make your sales totals instead of kind of hoping that people buy again by accident. And then with the process, creating that content calendar, setting those goals, we talked a little bit about how you already have some goals set up, and I love what you were telling me about the hearts on the calendar, capitalizing on the sales that you've had in the past, and put that discount on things that, like, hey, look, this is a sale. It might not really be a sale, but if you have it where the price is just a little bit higher, so you're discounting a little bit further, getting other family members involved, I think is great. And I think finding ways to enable them, it would be very helpful for you. Draft reply emails, and then you read them and say yes or no.
That's a great idea, actually.
So what I'd like to offer you is a free WordPress website. To help your son, I want to give him my WordPress course that I have, and as well as an additional month of coaching via Skype, so you can navigate some of these things as they come, because talking about where you're at today isn't necessarily where you're going to be at a month from now.
It's things like this that give you that extra little kick of motivation that's like, okay, I can really do this, and it's great. And then, like my 12-year-old showing so much more interest in it. It's
That's
just
awesome.
special. Like, it's
So this has been episode 1 of The Top, and we have been so fortunate to have such a great host company to come and help bring to The Top. I know that you have a lot of work ahead, so I'm really looking forward to working with you over the next month. Looking forward to it?
sounds good.
Yeah! See you, Sandra.
Bye. I'm feeling excited and motivated about what's to come, but I'm also very scared of what's to come. It's just, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm actually going to achieve what I've been wanting to achieve, and it's like right there. Like I feel like I'm on a slingshot and just slowly being pulled back little by little, and like one of these days my feet are just gonna come up and I'm just gonna go flying, and it's just gonna be an awesome feeling. I can't wait for that feeling.
What would you say to other business owners that are looking to get help from Super Joe Pardo?
I would say go and do it. You've nothing to lose, everything to gain, and even if you get one piece of great advice, it's more than you had originally. I think I've learned so much. I've gotten so much more motivation. I can only work on my shop part-time, but I want to do, like I actually am trying to find the time to add more because I can't, I want the growth. I want the vision that Joe helped me get. Take a chance on Super Joe Pardo because you won't regret it. And he's blushing behind the scenes right now.
How was the filming process?
It was a learning experience, I think, for everybody. For myself, having been on film before, Joe actually made me feel more comfortable. I wasn't sure what I'd do. I thought I'd be a bumbling idiot once the camera was turned on, but I don't think I did that bad. So I feel relaxed. I feel excited about it. I can't wait. I know it's going to be awesome because the whole experience was awesome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you a struggling business owner that wants to be featured on the top? Then go to superjoepardo.com/casting to apply now.